Hi, welcome back to Sharp Tooth Outfitters TV. I'm your host, Mike Gemstone, and today is part 3 of our Fishing Basics video series. Now, in parts 1 and 2 of our video series, we covered picking out a rod and a reel, as well as, in part 2, some of the basic tackle that you would need to get yourself started. Now today, in part 3, we're going to put those components together, showing you how to tie your hook to your fishing line, as well as securing your bobber. Let's get started. Go ahead and gather up your supplies on your table here, and you're going to need a fishing hook, your bobbers, trusty scissors, and don't forget the fishing pole. Now today, we've got a very special rod I want to show you here that we're going to rig up, get ready here for springtime. This was my Pop-Pop's fishing pole. He taught me how to fish so many years ago. And what do you see here? Again, just like we talked about, don't need anything fancy. Good old-fashioned Zebco push-button reel here. This reel is probably 40 years old and it's still working like a top. So you don't need anything fancy. This will get it done right here. Now what I'm going to do, make it a little bit easier on myself, I'm going to stick the rod and the reel down into a bucket, so that way I have like a third hand. And I want to make sure all my line is running straight through all of the eyelets on my fishing pole. Let's help keep the line nice and tidy. And I'll go ahead and find the end of my line. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead, next step is tie my hook to my fishing line. Now, please be very careful. These hooks are very, very sharp, and so you want to be careful of where that point is while you're tying your knot. And to tie this knot, we're going to be using a Palomar knot. Okay, again, that's a Palomar knot. We're going to show another video with some close-up footage of how to tie the Palomar knot. So now, actually going to tie the Palomar knot. Again, this is like our eyelet on our hook. I'm going to pass the line. The tag end goes through the eyelet. Okay, give yourself plenty of slack here. Okay, you got lots of fishing line on that reel. Don't make it hard on yourself. Pass the tag end back through. So now I've got the loop over here on this finger. This is my hook eyelet. I got my main line and my tag here. Okay, with this hanging, I'm gonna do my half hitch. Okay, so there's my half hitch. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach through my little loop, and the lure and the whole half hitch we just tied are just going to go drop right through that loop. So now I've got the eyelet, my half hitch and double line. That loop is over top of everything here, and I'll snug it down. That's it. Okay, always lube it, give a little lick, a little spit on there, and pull that tight. And make sure this loop, this is the loop we dropped the lure through, goes over top of everything so it cinches down on top of the whole knot. You pull both the tag end and the main line at the same time. You can give your main line a tug, your tag end a tug, and that's a tied knot. So we'll grab our tag end and use our scissors, and we just want to go ahead and trim that down. I'm gonna leave a little bit of space there. Make sure your line gets into the trash can where it belongs. And now that we have our hook tied to our fishing line, we can move on to our next step. Okay, for our next step, we're gonna go ahead and secure our bobber to our fishing line. So we've got our hook, and we're going to put our bobber about 1 foot above the hook on the fishing line. Now with the bobbers, we covered this in part 2. I like the ball style. This is a hard foam, it's very durable. And with these bobbers, there's a little hook on either end, and there's a spring inside. And what these hooks do, that's how we attach the bobber directly to the fishing line. So there's a little trick to get these hooks out of here. Here's a close-up of our bobber, and as I was showing you, there's hooks on either end of the bobber. If you take the bobber, hold it in your 2 fingers, use your thumb. As you push on that, you'll see the little hook stick out, and we'll take that hook, and that goes onto our fishing line. And we want to make sure that hook goes back down. You hear it snap into the little hole where it lives. Now, the trick to get the other hook out, put that on your finger, take the tip of your thumb and push it, and you'll see the other hook is now out. Take your line, wrap that around so it goes under the hook,
And there you have your bobber securely hooked and in the line with your fishing line.
All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now that you've got your hook, your line, your bobber, your rod, and your reel, we're ready to take our next steps in the basics of fishing. In our next couple episodes, we're going to show you some topics of how to actually cast your rod and how to choose the right bait. And now that the weather's turned, we're actually going to be able to do a little bit of fishing. We're going to show you that as well. So as always, I'm Mike Gemstone. Thanks so much for joining us at Sharptooth Outfitters TV. Make sure you check us out, Sharptooth Outfitters on Facebook. Like our page. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And you can also check out our content on YouTube at our channel, Sharptooth Outfitters. Make sure you subscribe so you can get all of our great future content. I'm Mike Gemstone. This is Sharptooth Outfitters TV. Take care and good shooting.